Yeah, I'm singing to a different tune.
All right. Well, welcome back. Oh man, Gary, and you got started. Welcome back to our Why Hire an Architect series. Can't even talk.
Flower. Flower. Okay.
I got my tongue wrapped around my teeth and I can't see what I'm saying, Gary.
That's absolutely right.
Anyway, welcome back. This is, I think, our sixth podcast.
I believe so.
We've done site selection, we've done architect selection, builder selection, lender selection. And today we're going to be talking about what makes a custom home, right?
Right.
And then what kind of the entire design process,
Right.
what happens once the architect is already hired. So a custom home, a lot of people think that this myth is I get to pick out my granite countertops or I get to pick the wallpaper. They're probably not doing wallpaper anymore.
Yeah, we don't do
But
wallpaper anymore.
they get to pick out something like that and then they think that's a custom home. So bust that myth right there.
So the difference is, you buy a set of plans out of a magazine. We've had that discussion. That's not a custom home.
Right.
We used to laugh when they built these subdivisions and they built all the spec houses the same, that you hope that you're not drunk when you go home because you could end up in your neighbor's house
It's
when
like
they,
a cracker box.
when they all look the same. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
well, is that my house?
drives me
No,
insane.
the trim is green.
Right. Right.
My front door is red.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's really to where a house is designed for the site, for one,
Okay.
and then second for the client. It's not one that's been repeated 100 times or even 2 or 3 times. It's specific to the client.
So, and you're talking about, I mean, and we've talked about a little bit of this before, but we're trying to dive a little bit deeper. But, the site, the slope, the drainage, the orientation, the views, all those things kind of dictate the design.
Correct. In my mind, that's why, if we go back to our site thing, the conversation was don't pick out the floor plan first and then go buy the site, because
Right.
you're then forcing the floor plan to fit the site. And sometimes it does,
Yeah.
but more often than not, it doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so people come to us and they're like, hey, can we flip these plans over because the garage is on the wrong side, or something
Right.
like that. So
Right. And you're designing them for not just today. I mean, you're designing for 10, 20 years down the road. Kind of, I think you had mentioned aging in place,
right.
Expansion, for future expansion, things of that nature.
In homes, we're different for different times.
Mhm.
You get married, you're a couple, and then you start having kids, and so then there's not enough bedrooms, and so then you need a bunch of bedrooms and you need space.
Yeah.
And then the kids leave and we get the empty syndrome thing where we've got a big house and there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of where you're at in your life.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
Yeah.
Whether the house is handicap accessible.
Yeah.
And all those things.
Yeah. So you might turn one of those kids' bedroom in to a media room down the road.
True.
Right.
True. Or the back deck might have a sunken hot tub in it.
There you go.
Right.
So, and Gary and I was putting this together, and I was going one direction, Gary was going another. So, and we kind of wanted to blend the two together.
Right.
You had mentioned here the builder grade trap.
Well,
tell me what that is.
So you can, usually in the beginning you've not picked everything out.
Okay.
So everybody's like, I want a price, and you're like, but you've not picked the flooring out, you've not picked the cabinets out and stuff, and so a lot of times, especially what we call track houses or subdivision, the builder will say, okay, here's 3 cabinets, pick from one of those.
Okay.
And it's a builder grade cabinet, and he'll say there's laminate tops, and oh, by the way, if you would like to have granite, that's $10,000 upgrade.
Right.
And so you kind of got to be a little bit careful with your builder on that, you know, you're really what we call custom home finishes, and even really to that extent, carpenter stuff that the builder has. And so, you know, our custom home guys are very different. They don't build what we call track houses.
Yeah.
And really the track house guys don't build custom homes a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So a custom home is, I mean, you're designing it from scratch. You're not taking like you said earlier, a builder may have three floor plans to pick from.
Right.
You're going from scratch because you're taking their laundry list or grocery list is probably a better way to put it. Grocery list of things that they like, right?
Right.
And you're taking in their site and then you're putting all that together to design their dream home.
Right. So, you know, as we talk about what we want the clients to bring us, I'm usually fighting the idea that they want to show me a floor plan. And when they do that, they may have accepted that floor plan based on the fact that they've looked at it forever and ever and ever. And there's yet pieces of that they don't really like.
Yeah.
But I don't know that, you know?
Yeah.
So what we try to do is go from scratch, you know, where I'm deciding where the master bedroom goes and I'm deciding where the living room goes and the garage and the kitchen. And you know, everybody goes, why don't you start from a plan? If I start from something that we already have, I mean, I've been doing this for 40 years now, and I've designed so many houses, it's not even funny. And yet, I never find myself going, hey, wait, I designed a house very similar. Let me go grab it and fix it. Because I will spend more time doing that than if I don't just do it from scratch. And then again, each client's different, each site's different.
And it probably blocks your creativity flow.
Oh, it does.
Because you're almost going back to whatever you were thinking in that design and you're kind of getting
and we're going to get into a comment here in a minute is communications. It's the client being able to tell us what they want and we listening. Of course, that's what we do, you know, to those things when sometimes the terminology may not be correct.
Right. So we kind of just switched gears there. So we were trying to define what makes a custom home a custom home. We kind of gave an overview, somewhat detailed there. And now we're switching to kind of the process. Right. So they've selected you.
Right.
So we kind of just now talked a little bit about, you know, they bring you the grocery list. Is there anything else in that, say, first design meeting that they need to be bringing or thinking of? Or
once they hire us, we're going to ask for a couple things: a head of lettuce, ketchup, mayonnaise, so that we can know that our grocery list is complete.
Exactly, because you're grilling hamburgers.
That's right. We're going to do hamburgers on the back porch before they leave.
Yeah.
But we're looking for, you know, I want 3 bedrooms and 3 baths and kitchen and pantry and, you know, that kind of list of spaces. Relationship. We're going to look for a site plan if at all possible.
Okay.
Obviously address so that we can go out and look at the lot. As I say sometimes, it's a little funny, is I say the sites talk to me. And I don't mean that in a weird, swami kind of way.
Yeah.
But it's like it does because there's characteristic traits that we're looking for that's specific to that site.
Right.
And so then once I've kind of got all that in my head, then I begin into the floor plan.
Yeah. So, and they'll bring in some I remember sitting here one time in a lady said, I want a Costco window.
Yes.
Right.
Costco closet.
Costco closet.
Costco closet.
Okay. To kind of talk about, because they'll come in again with their grocery list and that was on her grocery list.
Well, and the funny part was I didn't have a clue what she was talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah, exactly. But
So
now,
for a moment, I'm sitting there. Every once in a while, people can stop me for a second, but not for long. Um, but I was like, Costco closet, Costco closet. And so I was like, ah, she wants to be able to back her car up into the garage, being able to dump the stuff that she got at Costco out of that into a closet that then she could go into the house and it'd be the pantry.
yeah,
And so she wouldn't have to carry, the stuff around.
yeah.
So although she caught me a little bit and said, I had another one the other day and I forget the name, but the client mentioned it and I was like,
A scut, it was a kitchen.
It
It
was-
was behind the kitchen.
right, right. It was like more
Can't
where,
remember the name, Madison.
yeah, it was more where it was the pantry with the stove and refrigerator in it,
Yes.
so that they could cook and not be out in the main part that's dressed up.
Yeah.
And
So here's a test. Those that are watching,
Yeah.
they can message, right, Madison? They can give us the answer to what that is. Because
Yeah.
for the life of me, I can't remember what it is.
Yeah.
But there's something, and it's a kitchen behind a kitchen kind of a thing.
I haven't taken the right medicine today to be able to remember.
Yeah, yeah,
So we're working off not being on drugs at this moment.
So you just did a kind of the first design meeting with the grocery list. Oh,
So
you
so
want to
let's
say something else?
so going to
That
this.
means he's not finished. When the finger comes up, I'm not done yet, Barry.
Yeah. I'm not shooting you. So, with that statement, I want to say everybody wants to try to talk the talk. They want to try to get in our world and talk the language. And I don't want to hear that. Because 9 times out of 10, it's either wrong or it's something that vague that they've heard from somebody that we may or may not be familiar with. Just show us.
Mhm.
I say a picture's worth 1,000 words. And we had a lady, I tell the story that she showed me a kitchen one time. And she said, I love the kitchen. So I put the floor plan together and I drew that kitchen. Well, I'm looking at the plan or the photograph she gave me. And I'm seeing that the stove's in a corner and the sink's in a corner. And I thought, well, that's unique. So that's probably what she's like. So I designed the kitchen just like that.
Mhm.
And she comes back in and she goes, man, I hate that kitchen. And I'm going, but Betty, that's the picture that you gave me. And so I reach over and pull the picture out. I'm like, look, see? And she goes, oh, I like the color of the cabinets.
Nice. Nice.
And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Too
So
funny.
anyway, I went back and redesigned the kitchen.
We
So-
disguised that name Betty to protect the innocent.
Protect the innocent.
So it really wasn't Betty. Madison.
But nobody knows what Betty that is.
Exactly.
It was Betty Boo.
Good. Exactly. I know sitting in here with you before, you don't like them. You like the grocery list and you like pictures of 5 or 6 homes of exteriors that they like,
Right.
but you don't want them to bring you a floor plan.
No,
You almost get angry.
I do because they, again, like I said, they want to show it to me so bad they can't
They
stand
can't
it.
stand it.
And I'm like, please turn it over. So what's funny is the people that are so strong and wanting to show that to me, I say, here's the deal. Let me do a floor plan.
Mhm.
And when you come back this first time, because I always like to talk to them when I show them the floor plan,
Right.
because I might hurt them real bad.
Yeah.
Because I might have put the kitchen on the roof or done something really crazy.
Exactly.
But so I want to explain what I've done. But I've never had one that when we got to that point that I said, okay, now you show me yours.
Yeah.
And they're like, damn. And I'm like, why not? And they're like, because I like yours better.
Yeah.
And I said, because I've not been influenced by things that they may have accepted this dining room because the master bath is what we want.
Yeah.
And so I'm not into that.
Yeah.
Harboring the creativity because of that.
Right.
So that's why I'm into I live in the house.
Yeah.
you know,
And again, you're taking the land into account too, and
absolutely.
that gorgeous mountain view or the gorgeous view of the creek or
Or the neighbor that you don't want to look
the
at.
neighbor you don't want to see.
Yeah.
Right. So you're
Right.
taking all that into account
Absolutely.
when you're laying that home out. And you
Right.
don't just plop it down in the middle of the property. You're
Yeah.
going to orient it.
Right. And so, like I said, your room flow. One of our builders used to just, he said, I love building your houses. He said, they just have great flow. And I said, well, I live in it.
Yeah.
You know, I want to, I know when I'm standing at the kitchen sink what I want to look at.
Yeah.
Or if I'm cooking in the kitchen or whatever, you know, I know what I want to see from that room or not see.
Yeah.
I don't want to see the door to the bathroom that every time it's open, I look in and see the toilet, you know. It's those kind of don'ts that you get into.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's floor plan. So the first thing we do is floor plan only. Don't get in the exterior. Don't get into any of that foolishness. Floor plan. Get the rooms in the right places. The rooms basically the right size.
Yeah.
You know, closets and orientation, all that stuff. That's the first. That's the second meeting that we show them that.
The floor plan.
Right.
And it's all functional. You want it all. You're looking at
Yeah,
functionality.
It's like a giant bubble diagram at that point that we're moving stuff around.
Yeah.
To get it, like I said, in the right places.
Yeah. Now, is that you got schematic design and then floor plan? So the schematic design.
That's that.
Okay.
That's you know, schematic design. We usually take a little bit one step further. Is once we get the floor plan, and typically I'll do if it's a multi-story house, we'll play with first floor only to begin.
Okay.
Because if we change the first floor,
Yeah,
then the
then
second floor,
doesn't matter.
you know, it's all messed up.
Yeah.
And they'll come in inevitably boot stairs. And I'm like, okay, so the second floor is trash, basement's trash.
Yeah.
So first floor, second floor, and then we will get to an exterior design.
Okay.
And so, and that's where, like you said, I want people to bring me 5 pictures of houses they like. And I'm like, because again, terminology. People want to call it, you know, craftsman, Victorian,
Traditional.
Gothic, you know, all this. And I'm
Yeah.
going, but they don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
So show me 5 pictures. And everybody goes, why 5? And I go, because 4 will usually make a lot of sense. And then a squirrel runs in on that last one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you go, where did that come from? But we're looking from that to get, as I call my paintbrush of, and not paintbrush physically, but you know, what's the house look like?
Yeah.
Are they picking double hung windows? Are they picking steep pitched roofs consistently? Are they picking casement windows? Is it, you know, what's the look?
Yeah.
And then we take that and create that third dimension.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. In the real estate world, when we're inputting a home into a listing, it's funny to look at some of these homes and look at what listing agents have called them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they're totally wrong on what style of home it is.
Yes.
Or what type of windows it's got.
Right.
Because you're right that not everybody understands the terminology.
Right.
So that becomes a little crazy spot there. So design development and designing to budget, because obviously in that conversation, typically way up front, as we've already talked about in previous podcasts,
Sure.
we're talking about their budget.
Right.
So talk a little bit about the design development and designing to budget.
So we work with multiple contractors in the area, and we try to keep pretty up to date on costs as much as you can.
Yeah.
And so everybody wants to talk about a square foot number, and we use a square foot number, but we know how to use it. And
Yeah.
so we're trying to look at the budget, and we're saying, you know, your house is $1.95 a square foot, or $2.50 a square foot, or whatever. And then we try to get you in that square foot range that's going to be where your budget is.
Yeah.
So we do that. I mean, that's a sticker shock that we do. right off the bat, even before they hire us typically, because I know people, if they're not in construction or around it,
Mhm.
don't have a clue.
Yeah.
So why can't I build that garage for $20,000? Because it costs $120,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And so we're usually trying to, corral the budget versus wishes,
Right.
early on.
Right.
Another thing we usually do is when we get that schematic phase done, um, we like to talk to the builders,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
at that point, um, they're building every day. They priced the house yesterday,
Yeah.
and we didn't. So, they can hone that square foot number much better than we can.
Yeah.
And so we like to get that in front of a builder as quick as possible to let them say, this is where you're at,
Yeah.
so that you're not out of hand.
Yeah. So kind of in that area there, design development, and you don't have to use these disciplines in every case, especially in just residential. But if we get into a cabin up in, say, Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge or wherever that's going to be, I don't remember what the magic number is, but a 10 plus bedroom, then you're pulling into need for professional engineers, like
Sure.
mechanical, electrical, civil. So do you want to talk about that briefly? Because this is a kind of a generic why hire an architect series,
Right.
not necessarily just Gary Best, although we think
Sure.
you're the best and we think they should hire you.
Yeah.
Right.
It
Pardon,
counts.
pardon the pun, because
It counts.
best counts. Exactly. Right, Madison?
Yeah.
But you do have all those disciplines in house.
Sure.
So talk about that for a minute.
And so whether it's a house or a rental cabin, you've got to think in a residential world, you got to think about the impacts of mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Plumbing's not as big as impact as everybody wants to let it be. Everybody wants to say, let's back all the bathrooms together or put them together or something like that. Save money. Doesn't matter. It's not how you hire a plumber today.
Mhm.
And so that's not as important as where's water heater go?
Right. Right.
Did you have, and so suddenly where's the heat and air go? Because people will come in and suddenly they would have lost half of their hall closet because the heat and air guy put a return in there and took up half the closet for a
Yes.
return.
We see that a lot.
And then you also end up with this terribly ugly grill right in the foyer.
Yeah.
Or somewhere that you just absolutely don't want it. So
yeah,
looking at mechanical, which is plumbing, heat and air, electrical is a fun thing.
You love lighting.
I like that.
I know.
Lighting and stuff like that.
I call lighting.
We're very much into the LED tape, and LED's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the LED tape and some of that stuff can be, pretty delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, in that design development phase, we begin to talk about that stuff right before we get into working drawings.
Yeah. Okay. And then in some cases, maybe not all cases, but in some cases you do renderings.
Sure.
Yeah. And people love those. Right?
Well, because most people, 99.99% of the population can't see 3D.
Yeah.
So they're looking at lines on a piece of paper and it's lines on a piece of paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we try to help with that. Renderings take time, and so you really don't want to get into those too much until you get settled.
Yeah.
On the plan.
Yeah.
So
that's a good word, settled. So now we're settled. They everything's good. They're excited about it, and you're moving forward with elevations and foundation plans and all those things. And then there could be changes.
We hope that we worked out most of those.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to make the changes here.
Oh, absolutely.
On your computer than it is once it gets.
I can add a foot on my computer. It's hard adding that foot out there when the block gets laid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moving block walls isn't cheap.
Yeah.
So, on the computer to make a change, to flip the plan over, which always scared me. those are easy changes.
Yeah.
If you feel like that you need 6 more inches, you need to add 6 inches.
Yeah.
But you will get out there and then you're hung.
Yeah.
But change orders and changes like that are very expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Just like I wish I'd added 2 more feet on my barndominium in a few places. That extra 2
But
feet
you
would have
should
been.
have hired a good architect. That
Well, I was trying
before
to
you built
save his time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Note to self. Anyway, we'll move on. So then you got what working drawings? I guess we're obviously you're creating things so that they can build them out
Right.
out in the field.
Right.
So you're going and you create some pretty fancy, what I'd call highfalutin things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So then you're going to create working drawings. You want to elaborate on that? Kind of.
Well, so we're not just going to
goes
draw
into
a
that.
floor plan, especially knowing me and the weird things that I typically do.
I wouldn't call it weird, but,
but it-
highfalutin is what I
Yeah.
was calling it.
If I feel like there's something that a contractor may struggle with, then I'm gonna give him a detail.
Yeah.
So I build the house, and so I know where the nails are going, and I know where the trusses are going, all that stuff. So hopefully, when the contractor gets out there, it goes very smooth.
Yeah.
But we're doing floor plans and elevations and sections and door schedules and all that stuff that guides the contractor to build the house. Now, the shortcoming in that is still the owner's responsibility is the things that they're going to pick out.
Yeah.
They've not always, when we're finishing the working drawings, although we like it, that we can put it on the drawings, they may not have picked all their faucets out.
Yeah.
And they may not have picked all their floor coverings out because they've not, been to Home Depot or Floor & Decor or wherever to buy the tile and stuff like that. So the drawings in a shortcoming, that might not be there.
Yeah.
We would like for it to be, but then that means the homeowner's got to kind of get on the ball.
Yeah.
And get that stuff done.
Yeah. So we've talked about it briefly in other or maybe in more detail in other broadcasts, but we're trying to put this all together. So when does the builder get involved and the lender, when does the lender get the plans?
So we get the working drawings done. Owner usually takes a good look over that.
Mm-hmm.
We usually like that to have a set to go to the builder if they've chosen one. Typically those may not be finished in terms of putting a stamp on them yet, but it's also a good time to go to the lender because they're done well enough for the lender to do what he needs to do. And that's going to take some significant time.
Yeah.
The lender's going to take 30 days or better, because
Yeah.
they've got to put it through an appraisal process,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. The builder, if he's going to give you a bid, he's going to take no less than 30 days to put a bid together. So
Right.
even though maybe at that point you're still working through some stuff, that's a good time to go out there and let us or the architect, finish up his last little pieces, dot the I's and cross the T's.
Right.
And then everybody comes together and the banker gives them $1 gazillion. And the builder gives them the golden stud.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
they're ready to go.
Exactly. So, and it sounds like maybe a crazy question, but when are the plans finished?
So, like I said, after that one last owner look over, builder look over, everybody's kind of done with the changes, we hope. They're finished.
And it kind of boils down when the builder has what he
Right.
he needs to build the home.
Right. And they come back sometimes.
Yeah.
We have to help. And it's relative to whether your architect's going to do construction administration. There are also, let me jump into one thing, looking at our time. This, whether your architect's providing interior design services,
Mm-hmm.
and renderings, or we used to build models, and do all
Yeah.
that stuff to help them on 3D. So there's a whole package outside that, um, that services that may be rendered.
Yeah.
Um, but at a point there, yeah, the working drawings are done.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. We're about to wrap this one up here. I can't
We are.
believe it. I mean, Madison just told us we're right at 30 minutes. Is that what she said? She doesn't
We
like to
actually-
talk, but she said she gave us the numbers.
Yeah.
So what makes a custom home, and kind of going through the entire design process. Anything, any final words you want to give to our audience today
I
before we
think
wrap it?
that's a good wrap.
Is that a good wrap? Okay, Madison, is that a good wrap?
All right.
Well, Madison said
We
it.
have to call her done.
Gary, thank you once again.
Sure. Was a
for
pleasure.
All your wisdom.
Pleasure. Oh, yeah.
And thank you all for listening. As we always say, if you hopefully you learned something, so do a like. What is it? A like, share, and subscribe. Is that it, Madison?
Yes.
Oh, she said it. All right. So like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Do we have a subject?
Nope.
We'll see you on the next podcast. Thank you. Have a good evening.